Okay, I need to let you guys in on a little secret. Eva buys store-bought pre-made dough.
Not every kind of dough, Harper.
Okay, I should explain. It's rare that we're big fans of pre-made shortcuts. Take pizza dough, for example. Have you ever seen that pre-made pizza dough you can buy in a store? Yeah, that stuff just turns into cardboard that will take you a week to digest. There's one exception, one kind of pre-made dough that we're actually pretty big fans of. And it's kind of weird because it's such a great shortcut, but I feel like, at least here in America, people don't tend to use it a lot. Seems like it's kind of a niche thing. In every grocery store we've been to here, it's always kind of tucked away, almost like it's like hidden. Let me know in the comments below, maybe I'm way off base here, but it seems like it's pretty underused. Ava uses it all the time, particularly if she's in a time rush and she wants to make something amazing, but doesn't have a lot of time for baking. It's real easy to find, it's widely available, and with it you can make almost anything. I mean, it's kind of crazy. The sky's the limit. You can get really creative with it. And today she's gonna share a few ideas of how to make some really easy and really delicious food. That shortcut is puff pastry.
This is what in Italian we call pasta sfoglia. And I can define it like a staple dough in the Italian cuisine, in the Italian world food, because we use it a lot with savory dishes, but also with sweet dishes. Even if it's real that if you make it at home, it's better, let's be honest, we Italians, we don't do it at home. We go in a grocery shop and we buy it, because what we can find in a shop is pretty good. So, if you have the skill and the time to make it at home, feel free to do it. Otherwise, go in a shop and buy it. You can find it in different shapes and sizes. In this case, this is a rectangular, so for the first dish I need something like that. Today our first dish is called pizza rustica. The good thing about the pizza rustica is that you can put inside wherever you want and wherever you have in the fridge. Sometimes we define the pizza rustica like a fridge cleaner. Some vegetables, some cheese, some cold cuts, some salami, you can put inside wherever you have. Today I'm going to do it with some ricotta, parmigiano, egg and some zucchini. You can find the puff pastry or frozen, and in this case it's obvious you need to defrost it, or you can find the puff pastry in the fridge section. When it's in the fridge section, you take out of the fridge and you use it. It's very important that you place your sheet of puff pastry on a piece of parchment paper, because in this way it will be much easier than to transfer on a baking tray and then in the oven. Right now you have two options. That it depends on how many people you need to feed, because you can spread all the stuffing all around the puff pastry and then close it with another sheet of puff pastry, or you can do what I'm going to do, which means I will fill the dough just half and then I will fold. It's very, very important to use a fork to close the puff pastry, because otherwise all the stuffing will leak. Make some hole in your pizza rustica so all the steam will escape, will evaporate. To give your torta rustica that wonderful brownish golden color, what you need to do is to brush your pizza rustica with some egg. I'm going to bake it at 390 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25-30 minutes or until all the top is golden as you like. So what you need to do is let it cool down at least 15 minutes. You can see that right now is a little bit too puffy, so it will
Settle
a little bit. And keep in mind that this is the kind of dish that is wonderful warm, but it's even maybe better when it's completely cold, so it's up to you.
This is what's cool about this dish. Like, you've made this style of pizza rustica for me so many times, but I don't think I've had the same kind twice. I certainly haven't had this one because you can put kind of anything inside.
As I said, this is a sort of fridge cleaner. Everything you have in the fridge at the end you can put there. You can do it with eggs, vegetables, cheese, meat, I don't know.
I think one of my favorites was you put very thinly sliced potatoes and nduja, if I remember correctly.
It was very, very good.
That was a really good one.
Very good.
But this is like such an easy thing to do if you're in a pinch and you want to make something amazing, something that's really, really good, but it doesn't take a lot of time.
Easy.
All right, I'm excited to try this one because it has ricotta. Y'all know how I feel about ricotta.
Buon appetito.
Cheesy, delicious.
You can never go wrong with something like that.
That's a good one. You should make this one again.
As I said, warm is very good, but it's good also cold. And the day after, you can actually put a little bit in the oven again to make the dough a little bit crispier, and you can keep eating.
It tastes so much more delicious than it should be for the amount of work that went into it.
It's one of that real kitchen hack that you can have.
Oh man, that is gone.
Finita?
That is gone.
Finita?
Has that gone so quickly? All right, so pizza rustica is probably the simplest way that you can use puff pastry. You can just stuff it with anything, stick it in the oven, and you have an amazing dish. But I know that you Italians use puff pastry in a few other ways that I'm interested to try. You want to show me another one?
The dish that we are going to do now is a staple in the Apulian street food. In order to make it, we need to start from bechamel. We need a bechamel that is a little bit thicker to the one that usually we use to make lasagna or cannelloni. And most important, it needs to be completely cold. So be sure to make it in advance. We need a little bit of tomato sauce, which means that you can use or some tomato puree, or as I'm doing here, a whole peel tomatoes. You can use the big piece of puff pastry, but it happened yesterday that I found this amazing shape, so I'm going to use this. So we take a piece of puff pastry and using what we call in Italy coppa pasta, we make like that. We cut another one same size. We need some egg, and with the egg we will brush the first piece of our Apulian street food. We take the second one and we place on top of it. Now, this is the moment in which we can stuff our Apulian street food. We place a little bit of thick bechamel in the center. Then we use some very dried mozzarella, a little bit of tomato sauce. Then you need another cookie cutter, a little bit smaller, but just a little bit. You cut another piece, you spread some egg around, and then you close. We bake them at 380 Fahrenheit until they are golden and brown, which means for about 15-20 minutes, depending also always from your oven.
My excitement was already really high for the first one. Now it's at a new level because these look kind of awesome.
This is what in Puglia they call Rustico Leccese. So when you go to Lecce, all the bakery, rosticcerie are full of them, plus a lot of other things. But this is a traditional Rustico Leccese.
They look so cool.
And they are so good. Also here, we made the traditional version. Then, you can add also some prosciutto cotto inside. You can also change and create another stuffing.
Yeah, I'm sure with this basic technique, you can stuff it with whatever you want, just like the pizza rustica.
In Lecce, they do like that. Then, Tom, you can do whatever you like.
Buon appetito. Yeah. Yeah.
As we say in Italy, scansate.
I don't even know what that means, but I still know what that means.
Means put yourself on a side because these are too good.
You have someone coming over you want to impress? Make these. Dang, Eva.
You need to speak and talk with people from Puglia. They invented this.
The ratio of deliciousness to effort is once again so skewed.
Yes, because the puff pastry, it was one of the few amazing inventions that the French did.
So you admit that the French invented puff pastry?
Sì, Harper, I don't deny history.
This is a first.
No, I don't deny history. Then let's talk about the fact that they invented, we took it, we made amazing dishes with it. And speaking of France, Harper, I have a dish that uses puff pastry that people think that is French but is not French. Also because the name can create some misunderstanding.
Okay, you want to just show me?
The third dish takes us to Napoli. And because we are in Napoli, we don't need just puff pastry, but we need also pizza dough. And for the pizza dough, I'm so sorry, there isn't any shortcut, which means that you need to make your own. This is a pizza dough that I made yesterday evening, which means that all the night it stayed in the fridge. Then this morning I took out for about 2 hours. And now is the moment in which we can spread on our baking tray.
We'll put a link below to the pizza dough recipe.
See, it's pretty bubbling. Right?
It is. It looks really good.
After we cover it, as always, we need to let it rest for about 1 hour.
it looks like you're just making pizza. I'm a little confused where the puff pastry comes in.
Wait. And now is the moment of ham and cheese. This is a very dry mozzarella. So you can choose between or a very dry mozzarella or a provola. And now is the moment of the puff pastry.
Are you about to do what I think you're gonna do?
What do you think I'm going to do?
That's what I thought you were gonna do.
Yes!
Pizza covered in puff pastry. Only a Neapolitan would think to do that.
Maybe yes, maybe yes. And now we bake it at 390 Fahrenheit for about 25-30 minutes until on the top is golden and browned and on the bottom the pizza dough is cooked.
Oh no, we've got a casualty.
Yes, I know it happens, but it's not a big problem because we are going to cut here. It's not that you eat all by yourself, it's like you cut, so easy.
You keep ratcheting up the excitement even higher. I need you to explain to me, though, the French connection.
The French connection is in the name because this is pizza Parigina.
Paris?
Allora, Parigina can be the female adjective for Parisienne. Parisienne, I'm speaking French.
Parisian pizza?
Yes, but Parigina here doesn't mean from Paris. Here Parigina means for the queen, per la regina. That in dialetto napoletano became Parigina.
So in dialect it means for the queen.
Yes.
And people thought that it meant Parisian.
Yes.
What is with you guys and pizza and queens? Pizza Margherita was named after Queen Margherita. And now this is pizza for the queen. Which queen?
Do you know how many queens we had in Italy? A queen? I don't know. I don't know.
There are too many queens.
Queen.
We need to make more pizza to feed them. All right, well, let's see if this pizza is fit for a queen.
It's obvious you can't find it in a normal pizzeria because something that is more about street food.
Yeah, you can only find it in the palaces of the queen.
No, street food in the rosticceria and all this. So for a long time, he was a kind of pizza from Napoli that was more or less completely forgotten. But then he started to have a second renaissance. So right now, if you go in Napoli, you find the pizza Parigina everywhere.
Buon appetito. Yeah, if I were a queen, I would be into that. Even not as a queen, I'm into it. I should clarify. Now, granted, this is not really a case of like puff pastry making a quick and easy meal because you have to make the pizza dough and stuff. But it is an excellent example of why, even if you're not in a time rush or something, going up and picking up some puff pastry is a pretty good idea. Before we go, a quick shout out to a pasta grammarian in action. This beautiful plate of pasta is our pasta cinque pomodori.
Pasta ai 5 pomodori.
Pasta ai cinque pomodori.
Because
5 tomato pasta. If you haven't seen that video, you can check it out up here. We invented quite an extraordinary tomato pasta dish, if I might say so myself. It was good.
So good. And he did a great job.
Yes, it looks excellent. If you want to become a pasta grammarian, just hit that subscribe button. Follow us on social media at Pasta Grammar, and we will see you guys next time. Ciao.
What's the best?
Damn, I honestly don't know if I can answer that. Each was good in its own way.
It's
What was
a
your
nachos.
favorite?
I love pizza rustica in general. No matter what you put inside, it's always good.
You like the pizza the most?
Oh, pizza Parigina.